too
It
easy.
doesn't, with all the people they have, it's way too easy.
It's way too easy.
And all it would take is really, even if it was different people, is to put a timeline together and match them up.
That's it.
I mean, that's all it is.
That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
It just, that's as simple as it is. And as many people as they had doing this, of course, sometimes a lot of people doing it makes things worse. But but the bottom line is a bunch of people, either the ones that were in charge probably of this investigation, somehow or another dropped the ball because they haven't done anything.
No.
All their information's messed up.
Yeah, it is.
No, evidently, we know that there's no way they could have done a timeline. There's no way they could have done a timeline, matched everything up, because it doesn't match. You could tell, or somehow it's a diversion, because where's all the stuff on the 60th floor?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I mean, this is the second part, right, of Anthony,
right,
the security officer. But as I'm going through the investigation, right, the final investigative report, what they basically said was, which I found interesting, is that in September, Paddock, early September, Paddock was actually in the MGM with his girlfriend. And then on page 114 of the investigations report, the final report, it says, during a stay at the Mandalay Bay in the beginning of September of 2017, Danley recalled Paddock behaving strangely. They were staying in room 60, 235.
Huh.
Observing Paddock constantly looking out the windows of the room, which overlooked the Las Vegas Village venue. So what's interesting, though, is on page 25 of this same report, this says that on or around September 9th, which is the same time frame that he was in the Mandalay Bay, okay? I mean, they were there he was there with Danley early September. So around September 9th, they were staying in the Mandalay Bay, right?
Right.
So on or around September 9th, Paddock made his reservation. And this is on page 25. Paddock made his reservation for a Vista suite at the Mandalay Bay, ending in 235, but not a specific floor. All right. Now, just remember, the 200 floor is where the service elevator's at.
Okay.
All right. 235 is down by where the service elevator comes out. I mean, that elevator evidently comes out like right in front of 235. And 235 is all of those suites in any level, right? So what he did was he made his reservation on or about September 9th for any room on any floor, ending for any floor, but for the room 235.
I see.
Didn't care what room it was. It just, he needed it on the end of the hallway.
Right.
But did not, and this is in the report. Okay, this is in the report on page 25.
Right.
But but not a specific floor. So he didn't care what floor it was. He just needed it next to the service elevator.
He just wanted it out there, yeah.
Okay. On September 20th, and I'll have to put this to the timeline, right? But I don't really go back very far. We're just looking at the shooting time right now. But on September 20th, Paddock's reservation was assigned by computer to room 33-235.
Okay. A floor higher.
But 235. Not 135.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I
235.
mean, he's in 135.
Right. He's reserved a month ago for 235.
For 235. He wants a end suite room
Right.
next to the service elevator.
Which is basically is opposite where he's at now.
Yeah,
It's opposite of 135. Service elevators on the far side.
it's on the 200 side.
Right.
Yeah, we're on the 100 right now.
Right.
Yeah,
it's on the opposite side of the Mandalay Bay.
Right.
And he wanted any room that was 235.
Any room
Not
floor.
Any floor, not 135 any
Right.
floor.
He didn't want
wanted 235 any floor. You need when we talk. You need during this podcast. You need to show where 135 is. Well, we know where that's at.
Yeah.
Well, where's 235 on the building?
Right.
In conjunction with the shooting,
Absolutely.
the concert.
Yep. So basically on or around 9 September, he makes a reservation for the Mandalay Bay ending in 235, but not a specific floor. On September 20th, Paddock's reservation was assigned by computer to room 33-235.
Okay.
On a day the next day, on September 21st, Paddock's reservation was changed by computer to room 32-235.
Okay.
A few days later, on September 24th, Paddock, and this is verbatim, Paddock was assigned, all right, to room 32-135.
It doesn't say by computer.
Doesn't say he made it.
No.
On 24 September, he was assigned to room 32-135. Did you ever hear that one?
No, that's interesting.
It's in the report.
That's interesting.
I'm like, I mean, it
doesn't say
so
he
bizarre,
called in and
dude.
changed it.
No, he wanted 235.
He wanted 235. Any floor on 235, which is opposite the concert, I believe, isn't it?
My guess, it's further south. So my guess is because on page 114, it actually says in September, early September, around September 9th probably.
Right.
He was in room 235 also on the 60th floor.
Right.
So my assumption, if we ever were to look back on all of his stays in the Mandalay Bay, they would probably be on any floor in room 235.
Right. In the past.
Because that's what he was asking for.
Right.
But he was given, on September 24th, room 135.
Interesting.
On the 32nd floor.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dude,
and the plot thickens, baby.
I mean, sometimes
That's
you just hate to look.
Stuff, man.
It's in the report.
It's crazy stuff.
I mean, it's not like I'm making it up. I'm finding it in here, but that's not answered. Nobody answers it.
It's crazy.
And it's vague. You know, I mean, initially. It doesn't
say computer. It doesn't say he did it. It doesn't say who changed it. Because all the other ones say a computer changed it.
He asked for it. The computer changed it. And then the last one was he was assigned.
He was assigned. By who?
So it's an active voice all the way through and then passive voice at the end. Who?
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, I hate to look because every time I look at something,
I know.
It's like, we didn't know that.
And it's just more questions that no one investigated or answered.
Well, I mean, everyone is under the assumption that he planned the attack. Well, which he could have. Who knows,
Right,
man?
right,
I'm not saying
we
he
don't
did
know.
or
We're
didn't.
just throwing the facts out. Yeah.
But he didn't plan to go to that room.
Right.
Is what that statement in the investigation says.
Exactly. And that's even in the final investigation.
It's in the report. So anyway,
Wow.
let's get to Anthony.
Yeah, let's do Anthony.
Because Anthony's actually pretty cool, right? So
yes, he is.
He's lockstep. I mean,
pretty legit. I mean, his memory's going a little bit, because of probably because of his age or whatever, just whatever it is. But
I mean, think about it. Gunfire. He's the lead manager.
Yeah, and it's been 12 days, and he's seen a lot of stuff on the news and this, that, and the other. But but really, filtering his statement out like we've done and being able to do that, he is right on the timeline that we have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with his vision, with his first person. Yeah,
it's actually really good.
Yeah, it is.
So just to go back one, basically he made the comment. He was with Sergeant Matchko, okay, and he says, "Excuse my language. What the heck is going on?" Right. He goes, and then because we had, and now we allegedly had right below us, in the 31st floor, there was shooting. The 4th floor, there was shooting, and he's like, "What the hell's going on, man?"
Yeah, and that's a whole nother set of investigations for us.
Right.
The 31st floor, the 4th floor, and the 60th floor.
Right.
That's crazy.
So he is, this is the guy, right? I mean, he's the security operations manager. So he's in charge that night,
right?
I'm assuming.
Right.
And he's saying that. He's like, "What, Indy?" He's stressed out right now, and he's not even the one that was shot.
No.
Right?
Yep.
So he's like, "What is going on?" I mean, that's perfect. That's what you would say. That's a normal person.
That's a normal response.
Normal response.
Yeah.
All right. So
what's not normal is that when they run to the elevator, the manager is already in it.
Oh, yeah. I'll show that video.
Yeah, that's not normal. Going to the same floor or waiting for him to get excited and run to the elevator because the door was already open.
It's strange.
Okay. I mean, it's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And evidently we haven't got to Shuck yet, but Shuck was on the 60th floor. And he's heading down from the 60th.
Right.
Interesting. Okay, let's go. Yep.
So the detective says, so 3 to 4 minutes to get up to the tower. You guys get up there, and you have about 2 more minutes of active gunfire. Excuse me. So when you arrived on the 32nd floor, did you encounter, and it's blacked out? Okay.
Probably, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know.
More than likely, it's probably Campos or Fire.
Right.
Yeah. Right. It's a name, probably. So.
Yeah. I mean, because they actually blacked out everything but the last letter. And
Is it an S?
And it's an S.
Who was in charge of blacking out? A kindergartner? Oh my gosh!
We didn't pay him. Okay. But he's definitely helping us out. Okay.
I know, it's awesome.
I love it. All right.
I mean, I don't know who it is, but my God, it's probably some intern from some community college or something.
Hey man, every time somebody has a FOIA request for release of documents from the government, they need to request that this guy actually black it out for them. Okay.
It's amazing. This dude is, whoever it is, it's very. Hey, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. So go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right. So Anthony says, so when I arrived on the 32nd floor, I was so zoned. Okay. He says that I don't remember what I saw, except getting to that wing and keeping my eye on that door.
Right.
I want to tell everybody that is an honest answer right there.
Very.
From a guy who is responsible for the security of the Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, it is, because that's how you would that's a normal response.
Right.
Because you don't know what's going on.
No, you're scared shitless.
And you're scared. You're scared. And when you hit that floor, you don't know what to expect.
No.
You ever seen those movies where you're going up the elevator and they're shooting on top and on one of the floors or whatever, and you're going up the elevator and all you hear is elevator music?
Yes, that's exactly
until
right.
the doors open.
And then
think of Anthony. He doesn't know what's going on. And as soon as they get up there. So here's the person that I want to, the next one is I want to see his response. Because let's see how he responds.
To the engineer manager?
To get off the elevator, because he's not even a security guy. He doesn't have that as even a background.
No,
he's just an engineer manager or whatever, you know. So he should be scared even more.
Even more. Right.
Right. So that's going to be interesting. So yeah, go ahead. So
Anthony, we've nicknamed him Patton because he's very confident.
Very confident. Yeah. Yes.
So as the lead security manager's like zoned in, ready to, he's, figure, ding, he's in the elevator, ding, 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 ding. And then he's actually said, as soon as it opens up, bing, he hears fire.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Right.
Yeah. So he's zoned, man.
Right.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
But Patton over here in the blue shirt, standing in the center of the hallway.
Right. And we have video of that.
Oh, Lord. All right.
Yeah.
So Anthony says, such and such, it's blacked out, might have been there, or he might have been running down another hallway. Mm-hmm. So the only person that was there besides an engineer, who I'm assuming the engineer is the manager he's talking about because he rode up the elevator with him.
Right.
Was one of my officers. And it's blacked out. Because I had him scribe for you guys, for Metro, for all the evacuated guests coming out of the room. Their names and their number, their room number. He was making the scribe for Metro on evacuated people off of that wing. I'm going to tell you, this dude is on it.
He's thinking under pressure, man.
This guy is, I want him as my security manager.
No kidding.
He needs a raise.
Kidding. Under
this
pressure,
dude's zoned. Yes.
Who would think of accountability when and managing accountability when you got this going on?
Absolutely.
And he's got 4 floors that he's worried about right now.
Absolutely.
He's just going to one.
He's just going to one.
Right.
He's got 2 guys on 31. He's on 32. He's
Nobody
worried about
on 4 or
60. Yep.
Exactly. And he's thinking, I'm sending a guy up here to help you guys evacuate in accountability of who's on that floor.
Absolutely. So as he goes down the hallway, there's a guy of his taking accountability. So we know there is a list that the Mandalay Bay put together for the Metro Police that has everybody who is in that hallway.
Exactly. What a great dude, man. That dude's thinking. He's thinking.
He's good under pressure, man. I'm telling you, this guy is he's spot on.
Hey, you need a referral, Anthony?
Absolutely.
We'll write a referral for you.
You need a bonus? You need a raise? Hopefully you got one out of this.
I hope he did. I hope he didn't get fired because of his statement. I know.
So anyway, so Anthony says that's the only other person I remember on the wing. On the floor. So was the blacked out and the engineer. Okay. So the detective says, do you remember 2 armed security officers going up with you as well? And he blacks out the names. And Anthony says, well, okay, so they were later on, but they were not with me on the wing.
Right.
All right. So I'm
Those
not sure
one probably got dropped off, right, at 31.
I would assume. Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who they're talking about. Anthony says, so I'm watching this way. I'm not paying attention to what's going on,
Behind him.
He's looking at the door.
Right.
I mean, he heard gunfire when he stepped out of the elevator.
He don't want to get shot.
He doesn't want to get shot. He knows it's coming from that direction because that's what his guys have said. And that's what he's heard over the radio. He's looking that way. He's not paying attention to anything else.
No.
That's perfect.
That's normal.
That's normal. He's afraid of getting shot.
Exactly.
He's got a pistol, for God's sake.
With one bullet, probably.
He's probably got one bullet. I mean, it may not even be loaded, right?
It's in his pocket.
Right. They may have like rounds in their pocket, not even in the gun.
Right.
Who knows, right? But
yeah, there might be a policy on that. Who knows?
This dude's he's hearing machine gun, semi-automatic fire.
Right.
And he's got a pistol.
Yeah.
He's scared shitless.
At this moment in time,
yes,
he doesn't realize that Campos described it as pellet gun.
No.
Okay.
No.
He doesn't have any idea. He just knows shots fired because that's what the dispatcher put over the thing.
Remember what the dispatcher put over?
Right. We have an active shooter.
He said active shooter.
Right.
Yes.
The dispatcher did.
Dispatcher did.
So that's what Anthony knows. He doesn't know Campos said it was a pellet gun.
No.
So.
No. All right. So anyways, he says, the cop says, so maybe they arrived later, and he goes, yeah, maybe they arrived later. So the cop says, you're already up there. Okay. So you don't recall seeing, I'm assuming it says Campos because it looks like a C before the blacked out area. But
right.
He says, you don't recall seeing blank at all. I mean, I'm assuming that is. He goes, no, right. I don't remember seeing him.
Right.
Any contact with him? Nope. No. He says, we were focused on what's going. He says, so the cop says, so because you were focused on what's going on.
Yeah.
So Anthony says, yeah. So as soon as I came out of the room, active fire, the
elevator.
Right. Active fire is going on.
Right.
I knew it was 100 wing. So I know it's to the right. And my main thing was to get me to safety.
Right. Yeah. For cover.
Right? Yeah, because he's hearing a machine gun fire.
And he doesn't want to get blasted as soon as he gets out of the elevator.
Oh. So even though it's cover, to make sure, for protection of my life.
Exactly.
I mean, he's the manager. He's orchestrating. He needs to stay alive now.
Right, right.
To make sure to get to safety. So I ran right to the left wall, which is where we see him. And I had my eyeball, with my weapon on the door, which is 135.
Right.
With the weapon, the eyeball on the, that's what he's saying.
Right.
On the door, just maintaining to make sure it was contained, hopefully.
Yeah, visual contact.
So basically. I don't remember anything going on behind him.
He's zoned. He's
on that door.
Yeah, he is zoned on that door.
Can't ask for anything else.
No. That's his job. I mean,
it's one of the best truthful sworn statements we've read so far.
I think it might be the only one so far. That is where we haven't heard at this moment in time.
Mm-mm.
We haven't heard certain weird statements.
Mm-hmm.
Inside there. Yeah, go ahead. That's really good.
Yeah, so the cop says, do you remember any communication between yourself and somebody else that's blacked out, from your staff, where he was positioned at the time? And Anthony says, I remember they were on the 100 wing stairwell on the 31st floor. I'm not sure who they were talking about. So the cop says, okay, so to your knowledge, would it be correct to say he was holding the stairwell? So I think they're talking about all the cops coming up from the 31st up to the stairwell.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, yeah. So Anthony says, and it blanks out all these names, such and such, my other such and such. So his two
right.
security officers, and the newbie, which is that
True.
Hendricks.
Which is a good statement because that's what you call them.
That's what you call them, first day on, and the newbie.
And the newbie.
And the newbie.
Yep.
Metro officer, right? So, okay, so cops says, so they were holding the stairwell, which they were.
Yeah.
I mean, they fired this guy, Hendricks, because of his inaction. But the reality is he couldn't do anything on his own.
There were other guys up there.
He's hearing the shots, right?
Right.
I mean, Anthony hears the shots. This guy hears the shots. He can't go and stop the shots. It's a machine gun, for God's sake. You got to wait for people to come up to help. All right.
Yeah. And I didn't realize they fired him until you said that yesterday.
Yeah.
And so did they take a statement from Hendricks?
Yeah. He's got a statement out there.
Okay. Well, because he's on the 31st floor. That was his job.
Right. He's clearing it.
He's clearing the floor.
He's making sure that nobody comes down.
Right.
To the 31st.
That was his job.
Right.
And then you had SWAT and everybody else in the stairwell ready to, and you have video of them with all that communication. Mm-hmm. He's just a security guard. He's not going to go past.
He's a police department guy. He's a Metro police, but he's one Metro guy with a trainee.
Exactly.
I mean, they are securing the 31st floor. Why?
Exactly.
There's shots fired from the 31st is what
right.
Anthony is saying. There's shots from the 32nd, the 31st, the 4th, the 60th.
Right.
Hendricks went to the 31st. He's going to clear that and then make sure nobody runs back through it, right?
Right.
Report. Why he got fired for not stopping the machine gun fire? There's no way he could stop that stuff, right?
No.
Whatever. So anyway, okay, so they were holding the floor. Correct. Cop says, so we have it sealed. So Anthony says, correct, so we have it sealed, right? The 31st. I mean, that's what you do.
Right.
So cop says, okay. Anthony says, right, so that if they basically would run into something, what he's saying is if they're trying to escape.
Right.
It's either going to be me, is what Anthony says, me and Hendricks, but it's really the bike guy up there, right? Down the hallway, or it's going to be them.
Yeah.
And the new Metro officer in the stairwell.
Exactly, in the stairwell.
This guy's thinking, man.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
When they hit 31st floor, he's like, you guys take that. I'm going above. You guys go below.
We got the cops over here.
We're going to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean.
There's nowhere for him to run.
Yeah. So this guy, spot on.
Yeah.
So anyway, the cop says, so with the coordination of the timing, you feel it's safe to say that no one could have left that room without someone seeing somebody. And he says, yeah, negative. No one left the room.
Right.
Man, pretty easy answer.
Mm-hmm.
Cop says, okay. Anthony says, from the time that me and the other guy in the hallway were up there, nobody had left the room. That door never opened.
Okay.
That's good.
That's
now
very good.
We know the video when he comes down, but he's graphically showing what he's trying to explain, right?
Right.
But his sworn statement says 12 days later says, hey, that door never opened. So we know that that's a true statement because the door lock interrogation.
The lock interrogation that we did that shows that it never opened.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the cop says, okay, so it's safe to say you heard firing in there. The firing stops. The room is secured essentially at that point. He goes, yes, it's maintained. Okay, so this is about the last part of it, right? We're nearing the end.
Okay.
Cop says, okay, What else do you recall from that night as far as during the course of events? Is there anything that you can think of that might be helpful to us in our investigation? Now, again, there's no questions. There's no follow-up questions to anything here, right? I mean, basically, what happens, is they usually go, hey, tell me what you know, and you go through it, and then you nitpick it to identify where you need to dig in, and then you dig in.
Right.
They don't dig in anywhere.
They haven't consistently dug in at all. No.
So Anthony says, and this is Anthony's last statement.
Okay.
Sworn statement. So the cop says, do you have anything else that'd be helpful for investigations? And Anthony says, well, the only other thing was I remember one of the police officers yelling at me. I think it was Armour yelling at me about that baby left in the room. He wanted that woman's name and he wanted the room number, and we know who it is,
Right.
And I said, yes, sir, I'll take care of it. That was the only other thing besides everything else.
Exactly. Everything else. Yes.
Including.
That's funny.
The, he says hopping, going along and talking strategy, and
right.
Also you guys talking strategy, and the radio traffic that I was hearing off of your guys' radios.
Yeah.
And so the detective says, okay, perfect. Anything else? And the FBI agent says, no, that's good.
The FBI, man, they haven't had a lot of statements in cross-examination, or not in cross-examination, but actually any question. They never ask a question while sitting in any of these things. It's crazy, man.
You would think that they would be asking a lot of questions. Because they're supposed to be the professional investigators here.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got cops, detectives, and FBI agents.
Right.
So there's a levels and different perspectives of questions.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why they supposedly have these guys in there, because,
right.
You got a cop's going to ask a certain question. Detective's going to ask certain types of questions. FBI agents, it's a different. They're going to ask different
level. Yeah.
Right. It's like, everybody, you bring a bunch of people in from different perspectives and experiences. They're going to ask different questions.
Right.
They don't ask anything.
Yeah.
So anyway, this ended at 12 after 12. And if you recall, it started, let me go all the way back, because this was actually a long one, right?
Right.
This is one of the longer ones that we've seen so far.
It was about an hour.
No.
No.
This interview actually started at 11:56.
What the hell?
And it ended at 12:12.
Golly. Now that was quick, and it took us a long time to get through it. But it's 11:56.
11:56.
And it ended at, what the heck?
I mean, I hate to say it, but normally in interviews like this, you would assume would take an hour or two to get through.
Well, the reason it doesn't take long is because you're not asking any questions about any of the statements, any of the gaps. You're not asking any questions. They're just going through and telling you what they saw, but you're not questioning anything.
You're not investigating anything.
That's 15 minutes, dude. That's not even enough time. That's ridiculous. So yeah, they should be ashamed of themselves. I keep saying that, but it's crazy. And you got an FBI agent in there. You have an FBI agent in there.
Oh yeah,
and it's 15 minutes.
And you've got an MGM representative, D. Howe,
right
in there.
Right.
There's a lot of people in that room, right? So I just have to say this guy here, this is a great sworn statement.
Yes.
And this guy is up front. He's honest, and hopefully they did some further investigative activity or questioning with him.
Yeah.
Because he is a wealth of knowledge and he's truthful.
Yeah.
In everything. He's
you could tell by what he said.
Right.
In those 15 minutes, we confirmed a lot of things. With other statements that we've had. We've confirmed, almost when, everything from the shooting to hearing the dispatcher say what he said to, and it was some of his statements that he made within the 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Some of his statements within the 15 minutes was a truthful statement. You could tell. Yeah. It wasn't something that was he may have been reading off of a paper or anything,
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
And really 12 days later, that to me, I can't even believe it's 12 days later. Why would you not do it within the first few days?
No, and actually, if you think about 12 days later, every other statement that was taken 4 to 12 days later, they've always injected something that they've heard.
Exactly.
This guy didn't do it once.
No.
When he was asked this 12 days later, he was in the moment.
Right.
So this guy is true. My curiosity is, where are the follow-up interviews?
Right.
Now, they submitted, obviously these are submitted to the public, but there has to be some follow-up interviews that went on.
Yeah.
Where are those? Right? Where's the follow-up interview to this guy? Where is the list of people that were in the rooms?
Right.
And their interview.
And their interviews.
Yeah.
And why 12 days later should probably have been the follow-up interview. Right.
Yeah.
Not the initial interview. Hell, they'd already been on Ellen by now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
they're already heroes.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because they got shot. Now, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Look, if I got to get by a pellet gun.
And a guy that hadn't even been there.
Well, we don't know about him. No one has seen him so far.
No one has seen him so far.
I mean, let's the elephant in the room.
Right.
Is Shuck.
Yes. No one has seen him at all.
None.
And he's on Ellen like he was came up there to save Campos.
Right.
We need to see his statement on Ellen. When we do him, does he have a statement? I imagine he does.
He's been on TV numerous times. I've got it all.
Yeah. But we need to analyze that.
Oh yeah.
And see.
We will. That's going to be one of the last ones, though.
Yeah.
Because no one has seen him.
No one has seen him.
Nobody's reported on him. Nobody's seen him. Nobody's heard from him.
No one's heard from him.
I mean,
nobody.
I don't even have we don't have unless somebody else out there does. We don't have the transmission, the radio transmission of the Mandalay Bay that has him speaking on it, right?
Right.
As far as, hey, there's something on the door that needs taken off. That's why he was coming down.
Yeah.
We don't have that voice. Now, what we have is him making a call that's a very calm call that says, hey, somebody's firing on the 100th floor, right? But we don't have the call before that, right?
When was that call?
Yeah, I don't know what the time of that call was. So
we'll have to get into that.
Oh yeah, we'll get it. Yeah. All that'll be the details that we get into him. But we're just trying to figure out the curious thing right now is that Shuck nobody has placed Shuck at the scene of the crime.
No. Haven't seen him, heard him, anything. So, yeah, no one. So,
all right, buddy.
Interesting.
That's right.
Interesting.
So the next one, what you want to do?
I think we need to do the engineer guy that went up the elevator with him.
Patton?
Yes.
All right, let's do Patton.
Let's do Patton next.
All right. Absolutely. We're going to do patent next. That'll be the next
Sweet.
one. All right. We'll
All
talk
right,
to
man.
everybody later. Please
Yep.
subscribe, like, comment, and send me all the information you have. If you haven't seen it so far and you have more, please email it, twintalkradio@gmail.com. And
That's right.
download all of the investigative documents we put together on our webpage. So,
Yep.
till the next one,
Yes.
we'll see y'all later.
Yep. Have a good one.